Hello everyone, today let's solve the problem number 1045, customer who bought all the products, right? So what the question states here, write a solution to report the customer IDs. We have to report the customer IDs from the customer table that bought all the products listed in the product table. So we have been given a product table, so we have to list out all the customers who have brought all the this one products that is listed in the product table, right? So that's what we need to do. I hope the question is completely clear. So here we have the customer table and the product table. So within the customer table, we have customer ID and the product key. Both are of the type integer. And here in this case, column name, we have the product table. Here in this case, we have the product key within the column. And we have only the product key, which is of the type integer, right? I hope the question is completely clear. Let's come to the example one here in this case. So just give me a second here. Yeah, we have the customer ID and the product key here in this case, right? So we have 1 2 3 and 1 2 3 we have basically 1 2 3 is duplicate, 3 we have duplicate for 3 and we have duplicate for 1 as well, and the product key they have mentioned clearly here, right? So also we have the product key here in this case. 5 and 6 are the product keys that are mentioned here, right? So we need to list all the customers. Yeah, we need to list, or we need to write a solution to report the customer IDs from the customer table that bought all the products that is listed in the product table in this case, right? So we have the product key 5 and 6, right? In this case, if you observe, just give me a second here. Customer 1, so total number of unique products in the product table is 2 here in this case. We know that. So 5 and 6 are the ones, right? So don't get confused here. So total number of unique products in the product table is 5 and 6, right? They have clearly mentioned here. We know this one. So customer 1, if you see here, this is customer 1 means the customer with the ID 1 bought both the products here in this case, 5 and 6. You can clearly see 5 he bought, 6 also he bought, last one, right? He bought 5 and 6 both. So the customer 1 bought 5 and 6 both in this case. Customer 2 bought only product 6 here. You can clearly see here he bought only 6 here. 2 we have only ones. We don't have duplicates for 2 here, right? So customer 2 bought only 6 here. He didn't bring 5. So we are not considering 2 here. And customer 3 also bought both the products here in this case, 5 and 6. You can clearly see here, right? Third one and the fourth one, product key here. This one I'm speaking of, this table, right? So here again, so I'll just consider here 5 and 6 has been, both the products has been bought by or have been bought by this one 2, customer with the ID 2. So these two things we need to return in the form of output with a customer ID, with the name customer ID, right? So 1 and 3, sorry, this is not 2 basically, sorry, 3 this one, right? 2 only bought 6. I got confused here. So let me do one thing. Let me write 3 here. This is not 2, this is 3 basically. 1 and 3 we need to return in the form of output. I hope this is clear. Again, I'm telling the total number of unique products in the product table is 5 and 6. We know this one, this table I'm speaking of. Customer 1 bought both the products here, 5 and 6. We have already considered first one and the last one in the product case. And customer 2 bought only 6. You can clearly see here, this one, right? 6. And customer 3 bought 5 and 6, both the products again here. So we will consider 1 and 3. So that's what we need to return in the form of output as well, right? So I hope the question is completely clear. What we need to do is completely clear as well, right? So first, as usual, let's discuss the approach and then write the query. First, let's discuss the, so here let's discuss the approach step by step. First thing what we will do, we will count how many distinct products each customer has purchased using a count distinct query. So we have to count how many distinct products each customer has purchased, right? So suppose if we are having the customer IDs 1 2 3 4, right? So which can be duplicated. So here I will write 1 2 again, right? It might contain duplicate IDs as well. So in this case, so 5 and 6 are given in product IDs. So here in this case, so I'll just give you a 5 6 5 6 in this case. This one only 5, this one only 6. So in this case 1 and 2 uh, has purchased both the keys, right? 5 and 6 here you can clearly see, right? We have already discussed in the example 1. Again I'm showing the different example, that's it. So at any cost we have to count the distinct distinct products for the each customer, right? So that is what we are doing in the first step. First we will count how many distinct products each customer has purchased using the count distinct query. This is very important. So this is very important, again I'm telling, this is very important, the first thing. The second thing here is we will count the total number of unique products. So here in this case we will be counting the total number of unique products, again I'm telling. So we will count the total number of unique products that is available in the product table. This is very important, mark this one. Yeah, fine. So we will then we will count the total number of unique products that is available in the product table, right? So the third one, the final one, we will select only those customers whose distinct product here, whose distinct product purchase count matches the total number of products. This is very important. Whose distinct product purchase count matches the total number of products. In the example that I considered here, in this case we have only one, just give me a second here, only one, this one has 1 and 2. So again, yeah, only 1 and 2 here in this case matches all the product keys that has been given here as 5 and 6. We have considered 5 and 6 product keys pk, I'll just give here, right? So only 1 and 2 matches, right? That's what we need to return in the form of output. That's what we'll be doing in step 3. We will select only those customers whose distinct product purchase count matches the total number of products, right? So in our case it was 1 and 2 for the example that I have considered here in this case, right? So I hope this is completely clear. These are the steps that we'll be following. So this is the approach that we'll be following, right? Now as we know the approach, it will be easier to write the query. Let's start writing the query. So now let's write the query. So first step was, if you remember, we have to count the distinct products that is purchased by each customer, right? So I'll start with the with keyword here, c underscore count I will give. So as, let's go with as here. First step, we have to count the distinct products purchased by the each customer, right? So I'll just go with the select keyword here. We have the customer ID, based on the customer ID itself here going with, right? So here let me paste the customer ID and let me go with the count. So we have to count, right? So we have to count the distinct product keys that we have here. In this case, in the example they have given 5 and 6. Distinct product keys are 5 as well as 6, that we need to count first, right? So for that SQL provides distinct keywords. So I'll just make use of distinct here. Again, what did I do? Distinct. Yeah, this is fine. Distinct product key. So I'll just copy the same thing from this one and let me paste it over here. This is fine. As product count, so I'll just give here p underscore count. This is fine. This is coming from the which table? This one. This is coming from the customer table, right? If you remember, you can clearly see here. So this is coming from the customer table. So I'll just make use of from here. Let me give customer. So we have to group by the customer ID. So we have to group by the customer ID. You can clearly see 1 5 2 6 3 5. So 1 and 3 here we are considering, right? Here for the output, we first, for that one we need to group this one based on the customer ID, right? So let me write this one quickly, group by customer ID, right? This is it for the first step. So the next step here is the second step. If you remember, we have to count the total unique products on the product table. Unique products. So here this one I'm speaking of, unique products on the product table, right? So that one, how can we articulate that one in the form of query? P underscore total, as I'll give here this one. This is fine. So we have to count the total unique products in the unique table. This one we can implement in this way. Select, we have to count, right? Count of star we can go, right? So we have to count for every product. I mean, yeah, we have to count, or we have to consider only unique products, nothing but we have to count total unique products in the product table, right? That is the reason we are making use of star here. This is fine. This one as total here, this is coming from the product table. this one. This is coming from product table, right? So let me copy this one and paste it over here. This is coming from the product. This is fine. So the next step here is the final step. We have to select the customers whose product purchase count matches the total product count. So here total product count means here in this case 5 and 6 both. The customer has to buy both the product keys. So all the unique keys they have provided here as 5 and 6 in the product table. The customer ID who buys both the product keys here. These are the unique keys they have provided, right? So the customer or the customer ID who buys both this one here, in this case 5 and 6, we have to return those we have to return those customer IDs, right? So that's what we need to implement or articulate in the form of query. So we can write in this way. We will go with select c dot customer ID we have to consider, right? So we need to return this one. Let me consider this itself so that we won't get confused here. So this one customer ID, this is coming from count. Where is count? So yeah, we have given somewhere here product.count we have, and let me consider this one itself. So this has to be c.count, not p underscore count. So c underscore count. So here let me give c on this case and p underscore total here in this case p. So I'll just make use of the where keyword c dot p underscore count here. This one has to be p dot total. Total means this one has to be equivalent to this one. Means one considers one buys this one. One has bought, sorry, not buys, one has bought 5 and one has bought 6 here. You can clearly see. And 2 has bought 5. 2 has bought only 6. We'll ignore this one. 3 has bought 5 and 3 has bought 6 as well in this case. So we have to return 1 and 3 in this case, right? So where c dot p underscore count, this has to be equal to total. So I'll just give here p dot total, right? So I'll just give here p dot total. This is it for the query, right? So let me hit the run button here in this case. So we have error here in the line number 9. Select c dot customer underscore I have given where. So this is p dot total itself, right? As select c dot customer. The line number 9 it is showing. So let's check what I have done. So here you can clearly see the mistake that I have done is I have not given comma here after this one, right? After the parenthesis. So we are continuing with this, right? So let me hit the run button again. So that's the reason we were getting error, I think. Again we have this one. You have an error in the SQL syntax. That is fine. Right, syntax select here. I have misspelled this one. Where? Line number 10 it is saying. Yeah, this one, let me give E here. This is fine. Let me hit the run button again. So now you can clearly see the sample test case is getting passed. Let me hit the submit button quickly. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the code works absolutely correct in this case. I mean the query works absolutely correct in this case, right? I hope whatever query that we have written is completely clear as well. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching.